What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadski and I'm back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And today I'm going to be breaking down the brand new Fortnite dungeon that was announced on the global version of One Piece Treasure Cruise, which is the Brother Soul Afro Luffy Fortnite. Now this Fortnite is actually pretty cool because it actually gets released when sockets come out. Now, sockets, if you guys didn't see my past video where I explained what sockets were and how do you get them and how they actually work, make sure you go and check that out. It will be linked in the description down below, and it also was the previous upload to this video, so make sure you guys go check that out. But basically, this is a great Fortnite to get sockets because you have Luffy drops, Usopp drops, and Chopper drops, so you can, try and get, sockets on, your Monster Chopper, your Golden Pound Usopp, and, your Luffy's like Log Luffy or Gear 3, so definitely a very, very nice Fortnite dungeon, a couple of good skill books as well. So without further ado, guys, let's get straight into the video. So first off, guys, let's go ahead and have a look at the brand new Monkey D. Luffy that you can get in this Fortnite dungeon, which is the Monkey D. Luffy Davy Back Fight Combat. Now, this unit is a 4-star unit, and you will drop a 3-star unit version of this Luffy, which evolves at level 50. Now, this Luffy is a strength fighter type unit with 2 socket spots, and at level 1, you can see he's got pretty basic stats, but at max level, at level 99, he has nearly 2k health, nearly 1200 attack, and 220 recovery, so they're pretty actually solid stats for a 4-star unit. Now, his captain effect will boost the attack of strength and fighter type characters, so that is both either strength type units or fighter type units, by 1.5 times, and reduces cooldowns of all specials by 1 turn at the start of the fight. So if the multiplier for attack was a little higher, this would actually be a very, very nice unit to have on your team. However, as I said, that multiplier is pretty low, only 1.5 times attack, so you're not really getting much out of it having him as your captain. And his special ability, which starts at 25 turns and maxes at 14 turns, will change all block orbs, or bother orbs as they called, into either strength orbs, and will also deal 20 times character's attack in strength damage to one enemy. So again, a very basic sort of special, definitely one of these units that you would much rather try and socket your higher tiered Luffy. So I personally am not going to try and, get special ups on this type of Luffy. I'm going to save all of my Luffys from this Fortnite dungeon to socket my Gear 3 and my Log Luffy, or if I had a Log Luffy, but that's what I would do if you guys have a Log Luffy. He's definitely one of the guys you want to try and socket as soon as possible when they are released. So anyways, now let's move on to the second unit in this dungeon. So the second unit here is the Usopp Davy Back Fight Second. Now, this Usopp here is a 4-star unit that does not evolve, and he is a dex shooter type character with 2 socket spots. Now, at level 70, at his max level, he has 1361 health, and he has 354 attack and 310 recovery, so he has very, very poor stats. Definitely not a unit that you want to try and max out. His captain effect boosts the attack of fighter type units by 2.5 times if your HP is above 99% or at 100% at the start of the turn. So this is actually a pretty nice special, actually. It's just the fact that you have to be at full health in order to get this boost is a little bit annoying, but if you don't have a character like Zeph or Jinbei, this actually is a pretty nice captain. It's a real shame that that himself doesn't actually get a boost from this because it's only fighter type characters and he's a shooter, and also the fact that his stats are all really, really bad. His stats are so bad, so he's not really worth using on your team. And his special ability, which starts at 30 turns and maxes at 15, will boost the attack of fighter characters by 2 times for 1 turn and binds himself for 15 turns. So you're getting a little bit of good and a little bit of bad at the same time. As you can see, this unit's very, very weird, it's just not one of the best units to have. Honestly, I'm doing the same thing with Luffy as I'm doing with Usopp here. I'm just going to use all of these Usopps that I get during this dungeon to basically feed to my either Impact Usopp or to my Golden Pound Usopp, because, those are the better Usopps in the game, and having those at max sockets are very, very nice to have. Now, the last new unit we have here is the Tony Chopper Davy Back Fight Mask. Now, he is a 4-star unit that does not have any pre or any evolutions, and he has 2 socket spots, and he's a Psy fighter type character. Now, max level at level 70, he has a little under 1200 health, a little under 500 attack, and a little under 300 recovery. So again, very basic stats for a 4-star unit. His captain effect will boost the recovery of all characters on your team no matter what type or what unit they are by 1.2 times. Very, very bad captive evade. You don't get any attack multiplier. It's only like a very, very small marginal recovery boost, which isn't really that good. And his special, which starts at 20 turns and maxes at 15 turns, will reduce silence duration by 2 turns and recovers 10 times recovery in HP. Now the thing about this is that why would you try and max out this special to reduce silence duration if you could just feed him their sockets to another chopper and then get the sockets for silence duration? So definitely I recommend feeding these choppers to either a monster chopper or to any other chopper that you have. I mean, once the Strong World units come out, you know, you got Strong World Chopper as well. He's very, very nice. But, you know, Monster Chopper is definitely the best chopper that we have right now. So, you know, he'd be really, really nice to try and socket out to the max so that you can get, you know, through dungeons like a lot easier. So now we're going to go ahead and break down the actual dungeon itself. So from stages 1 to 3 you have some basic units with some evolution units and some pirates and stuff like that. And then when you reach stage 4 here, you have the Usopp that we just explained a little while ago. Now this Usopp here has approximately 50,000 health with an attack power of 1505 and will attack every single turn. Now he actually does not do anything. He has no preemptive attack. He doesn't silence or chain any of your units. He just does some preemptive text, and you know, he's very, very easy to beat. And you know, you got these fodder pirates along the side as well who don't have a lot of health as well. So this is a very basic stage, but I want to bring it to you guys just to show you that, you know, you can actually drop Usopp here on stage 4. So, you know, you can potentially get 2 Usopps in one run as well. So we'll go into that a little bit later, but yeah, stage 4 is where you can drop Usopp in this dungeon. Now, the hidden stage in this dungeon is the Chopper stage. Now, Chopper here has approximately 20,000 health, which is not very much at all, and his attack power is 1500, and an interval of attacking, when you reach him, he might have a 1 or a 2 turn cooldown, but then after he attacks, or if he does get a chance to attack, he immediately goes to a 2 turn cooldown. Now, Chopper basically will just recover all of the enemies on, you know, the opposing side, so very basic, very, very easy to beat, and plus, you know, you've got a whole bunch of Dex units just surrounding Chopper as well, so they are very, very easy to beat, especially if you bring, you know, a powerful strength unit on your team, depending on what team you want to bring, and we'll go into that a little bit later in the video. But yeah, so we have Chopper here, the hidden stage, and obviously with all hidden stages and all hidden bosses, when you find this stage, the hidden boss will always drop. You'll never get any of those Dex units to drop. It'll always be Chopper the one to drop in this dungeon. Now, after you beat Usopp on stage 4, you have stages 5 and 6, which are also just some evolution units and some fodder pirate units. And now we have stage 7 here, which is the final boss. Now, this has Afro Luffy and the Usopp from the Davy Back fights. Now, Afro Luffy here has approximately 720,000 health. It's around about that number. And his attack power is 3,892, and he attacks every single turn. Now, he preemptively puts up a buff where he will survive any fatal hit for 3 turns, which means he will actually not die for 3 turns. The first 3 turns of the dungeon, of reaching this stage, he will not die, he cannot die. And then when Luffy gets under 20% and he gets to attack, he'll do 15,000 damage to you. So it is actually pretty tricky to make sure that, you know, you don't get him under that 20% barrier, otherwise you're going to be taking a whole lot of damage. Now, the Usopp here at the back has approximately 100,000 health, and he attacks for 1,320. Now, his attack interval is actually at 7 turns, so, you know, you're basically never going to get hit by him because he's very, very easy to take down. Now, if he stays alive for 3 turns, or after 3 turns, he will put up a power up buff, so basically giving Luffy an attack power boost of making him now 4,668 rather than 3,800. So you want to make sure that you can take him out before the end of that 3rd turn, so that Luffy does not get that buff. Otherwise, you're going to be taking too much damage, and you probably will not be able to beat the dungeon. So the strategy here is to basically just whittle down the Usopp's health, and then at the end of that 3rd turn, you want to kill him, and then by the end of that turn, the survival buff should be gone from Luffy, and then you can take him down straight after that. Moving on from the Fortnite dungeon, now we have the actual skill books that you can find in this dungeon. So there are actually quite a few skill books, but these are the notable ones that I picked out. Number 1 being Jinbei. So we haven't actually had Jinbei skill books in global version yet, and we're finally getting him in this Fortnite dungeon, and he's actually got a really, really nice special where he changes his own slot to quick and deals 13 times his attack and quick damage to a single enemy. This is actually a really, really nice special because even before giving him any skill ups, I think he starts off at about 10, 11 turns or something like that. So maxing him out is actually really good, meaning you could use his special multiple times during a dungeon run, depending on what dungeon it is. Very, very nice special. Now, Beppo is also available here. Now, if you guys don't know, Beppo's special is actually really, really good. A lot of people think that Beppo is actually really, really bad, but the thing is that we're getting Rob Lucci, the CP9 Rob Lucci in Water 7, which is coming out when this Fortnite dungeon actually comes out as well. So, what this basically means is that you can use the CP9 Rob Lucci from Story Mode. If you use his special in conjunction with Beppo's special, you can actually get a full team of Strength Orbs on your actual team. So, this is actually a good opportunity for you guys, if you guys have Beppo, to try and max out his skill, because using it in conjunction with the CP9 Rob Lucci from Story Mode is just amazing. It's really, really good, so I highly recommend trying to max Beppo if you have him. Also, we've got Bellamy books. We actually had Bellamy books in one of the Halloween Fortnite dungeons, and if you guys didn't max him out there, you can try and max him out now. Very, very nice special, you know, 1.5 times boost to orbs for a single turn. He's basically like a Kaku or a Kobe, but he's basically a Dex version of him, so make sure you go ahead and max him if you have him. And also Wapple as well. Wapple will actually be really good in the future of One Piece Treasure Cruise, but I'm just saying to you guys right now, if you do have Wapple, try and max him out right now, because he'll actually be really, really good later on down the track. So trust me right now, try and max him out. We're going to move on to some recommended teams here now. The thing about this Fortnite dungeon is that there's actually so many teams that can beat this Fortnite dungeon that are basically going to compile a whole bunch of captains and a whole bunch of sub-units that you should use. So here we have the quick units. The quick teams, I would say, are the best teams to take on this dungeon. So if you have Ace, Jozu, Boa, Marco, NL, or Eneru, if you have any of these units at a pretty high level, these are the units that I would recommend. Maybe not Boa or Marco as much, because you have to be above 70% health, and you might be taking actually a little bit of damage, because a lot of the units in this dungeon have like a 1-turn cooldown, so you might actually take a little bit of damage. So maybe having a captain with a little bit more health or some recovery, like having Jozu or Eneru, would be actually really, really good for taking on this dungeon. Now, other great captains as well as having Mihawk or Doflamingo, so those are really, really good because you have the Coffin Boat to give you some more health as well. So by having them, you know, you can partner that up with some other quick slashes. It's also a really, really great team for taking on this dungeon. Now, you also have Gear 3 and Log Luffy. Obviously, like, those guys can just beat nearly everything, so, you know, why not? Those guys are really, really strong. Also, Sengoku and Rayleigh, they're very, very powerful legends. If you guys are lucky enough to have Sengoku or Rayleigh, they should be able to beat this dungeon without a problem. But you got to make sure you have the right team composition, so making sure to bring a couple of quick units so you can take down Luffy a little bit easier, because Luffy does have a lot of health, so you got to make sure you bring a couple of quick units to help you take him down a little bit easier. So these are some sub-units that I would recommend you to bring into this dungeon. Golden Pan Usopp, of course, because no one has a turn debuff, so having Golden Pan Usopp is just amazing. You know, always getting that 3-turn delay, really, really nice. You also can bring Kaku and Hina. Like, both of those units together is just a great combination. So by having Hina to lock all your orbs for a turn, and then you have Kaku for 2 turns of 1.5 times boost of orbs, it's really, really great. So those two work really, really well. And then you've also got some quick slashes. So if you want to bring a slasher team, you can have Brook, Zoro, and Thatch. So Brook, he actually heals you, so he's really, really great. His Fortnite is out right now before the Afro Luffy Fortnite actually comes to global. So if you want to try and get him and try and max up his skill a little bit, you can go and pick him up. Halloween Zoro, if you guys were lucky enough to get Halloween Zoro, he's really good because he also has turn delay as well, and he also does damage, so he's really, really nice to have. And he's actually at max, he has like a little over 1,000 attacks, so he's really strong. And then you've also got Thatch, who, you know, everyone knows Thatch, really, really great. Thatch will give you more chance of getting matching orbs, not matching orbs, but more quick orbs on your team. So if you have a lot of quick units on your team and you have Thatch, it's a perfect combination, you know, getting a lot of quick orbs to take down Luffy very, very quickly. Is going to conclude yet another how to beat video. So I hope you guys did enjoy today's video, and if you guys did, make sure to smack the like button down below. And if you want to stay up to date with all of the content that I post on my channel, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, then make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I will see you guys within the next video.